I know that Paul has answered a few of them by text as well, but for everyone's benefit, one of the first ones that came into me, in response to Paul Lott's statement that schools should teach only reading, writing, and math, I'm wondering what students should read and write about. If they don't read history or literature, I'm confused about what's left beyond Dick and Jane. And Paul, since that was addressed to you, do you want to respond first?
I'm going to say that the answer to that question is this: is the way that, say, history is put together done perfectly now? No. Is the way that these forces are trying to push history, leaning particularly on, slavery, et cetera, is that the right way to go? My answer is going to be no. I do think that we need to take a fresh look at a unifying curricula and approach to things. And I'll give you an example. Me, myself, when I was in school, I was taught that the 3/5 compromise in the Constitution was a sign of American racism. So I thought that they were saying, and I believe most of my life, that the Constitution said that my race was 3/5 human, until I got into college and read it again. And it basically was a mechanism in the Constitution to undermine slavery by limiting congressional representation of the slave states so that they could not take control of Congress. And that provision allowed the legislature to put restriction upon restriction upon restriction on slavery. And that is what led to it being eventually stamped out. It started with the 3/5 compromise in the Constitution, where the founders understood that things were not perfect, that everyone didn't agree, but they put mechanisms in place to work it out, right? And that's that. So my response would be, yeah, we need to take a look at curricula. We need to take a look at some of the crazy false things that are put in, but we cannot go the other way and embrace, this narrative that America was founded in 1619 based on racism, et cetera, et cetera. There are a lot of truths out there that keep getting missed. And both sides, in my opinion, are missing them. I'm a huge history buff, and I can tell you that a lot of what comes out on both sides is a lot of hooey. So in terms of, but I think the target should be, we should always respect parents. And if there's a plurality of parents that object to a particular material, we need to find a material that all parents can work with, because the key to a good student is a good parent. Parents are the key to education. And if we take steps that put obstacles against parental authority, that system will fail. Schools don't, how can I say it? Schools don't really fail, families fail. You don't have high levels of failure where families are doing well. You have high levels of failure where families are not doing well. And so schools should not embrace any policy that causes this level of parental conflict. It doesn't matter if the parents are right or wrong. It's their kids and they're the parents. So that's, I think, where that agreement needs to come. Let the parents come together with the teachers and agree on what the books are. And if race-based or sex-based material is something that causes a lot of pain to the parents, it needs to go. It is not the position of the academic. A teacher's credentials and background does not trump a parent's right to controlling the education of their child, period. Teachers need to trust the parents, and they don't. That's part of the problem.
And Paul, I'll let, do any other panelists want to chime in on this question?
Cynthia said we have 5 more minutes.
Yeah, let me just say, yeah, we're really running overtime. I'd like to wrap it up. If there are closing statements that our panelists would like